Hi, your mission for today is to look up 5 facts about Stromboli. We've talked a little bit about Google searches or trying to just Google it, and now I want to show you what that means because there's a lot that actually goes into using an internet browser instead of going to your online databases that you're used to seeing when we do research in the library. So for today, I know that we're looking up Stromboli, so I'm going to type that in the search terms. And I get 7,360,000 results in just over 1 second. But none of these, at least at first glance, appear to be about a volcano. Instead, I'm seeing a lot of rolled pizza recipes. It's basically an Italian-American dish. But again, not a volcano, so this is a very good example of making sure that you choose the right search terms when you're going into a general internet search. I know Stromboli is a volcano, so I'm going to type in volcano, and I'm going to hit enter. You can also click on the magnifying glass. Either one will get you your search results. This time I get 96,100,000 results in just under 1 second. I also noticed that Wikipedia is the first result that comes up. They paid to get that spot. Again, Wikipedia is not a primary source, so please do not click on that for this project. It will also provide you with some news articles, and you can see videos and images. But this is, again, general information about volcanoes. We need to find some specific information on the Stromboli volcano. So I'm going to click up here in front of volcano and add Stromboli back to the field. Spacebar in between the words, and then I'm going to click enter. Now I only use or have 220,000 results in just over a second, but now I'm seeing results for Stromboli and volcanoes, so my search field is much more narrowed. It does matter what you use as your search terms in order to see the proper results. Otherwise, you end up filtering through a lot of things that you don't need, and that takes up a lot of time. Here I see that I've got geology.com, volcanodiscovery.com. This one does include a date in their abstract, just to give us an idea of when the information was updated. If I go down a couple more sites, this one says August 11th, 2014, which means it's been a few years, so that information may not be as current as we'd like it to be. Now, if I'm asking for 5 facts, you may not know exactly what to ask. I've given you a few examples in the PowerPoint presentation, but if you come through and look at some of the autofill options for Stromboli volcanoes, it gives you some more information to choose from. It might spark some ideas. So we may want to see eruption information. It actually gives me through geology.com the type of volcano it is, which is something we've discussed in class, the type of the duration of their eruptions or how frequent the eruptions. This one says ongoing, so it doesn't have an actual date. By ongoing, it means that it's continuously erupting, at least for the most part. And it even gives you nearby volcanoes, so some general interesting information for you. It also tells you exactly where it is, and so we know that this is definitely an Italian island or an island in Italy, which are some other ways that you can search for information. This particular search even gives some other questions that people have asked prior to your search. So again, just to give you a few more options as far as what to ask if you're coming up with only a few ideas and need a few more. When you do click on some of these websites to find information, make sure it's what's going to pertain to the article or to the information you're looking for. Occasionally, the first couple of sites that are listed in the results field are actually ads, and it will say an ad usually with it. I do not see one on this particular page, but just keep that in mind as you're searching. If you click on a web page and you get a pop-up that says, "Congratulations," and it's asking you for your personal information, please click out of that. That is basically a scam to get your personal information, and that's not something we do online. If you get to a word that you don't know, say I'm looking at this one and I see the word persistent and I'm not sure exactly what that means, then you can come up to open up a new tab and actually type in dictionary.com, and here's a quick way. It would help if Mrs. Grimes spelled the word dictionary correctly. So let's try that again. That happens occasionally, and just so you know, if you do it wrong, just retype and you'll end up with hopefully the site you need to be on. So here I'm here at definitions. Notice there's synonyms also. Synonyms is another great way to come up with some ideas on what to search. If you know what word you're comfortable with but you don't know others, this is a great way or a good option to see if there's any other jump starters for you. But I'm going to type in persistent, just because that was the example that we used. And I'll hit enter, and it gives me the pronunciation. It'll actually sound it out for you if you need. And it says persisting, especially in spite of opposition, obstacles, or discouragement. That doesn't quite sound like a volcano to me, but number 2 says lasting or enduring tenaciously. In other words, it doesn't stop, it's always going. So that better describes that eruption activity that they're talking about with Stromboli Volcano. As I go back to my Google search, if there's a different source of information that you would like to find, again, you type the search word in here, and you can change that as many times as you would like. I can type in size for the size of the volcano, and always double check the site that these little pop-up boxes are giving you. This one's from Oregon State University. Again, this is probably a valid site, but again, you will want to look at your information. It is always a good plan to duplicate that information or try to verify it through at least one other site as you're doing your research. But here's going to give me some information about how tall it is, or how high it is above sea level. So there's a lot of different information you can get from just a general search, but it does take some replication so that you can verify to make sure the information is actually correct and current. Some sites won't have been updated for several years, and it's hard to have a site give you information and be old. You don't want to pass on that outdated information. So those are just a few examples of how to research Stromboli or do a general internet search regardless of the topic you're looking for. Thank you for listening.